Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Same as in Naya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's that about a video that I found really very interesting. And it's about a black woman who was actually asking who boycotts for black lives or who boycotts for black people. And this is just an important question. A lot of people are going to find it kind of hard to listen to, but this is just the reality of black people's lives and what we'll go through and all that. You all remember Palestine and all that, what has been going on, Israel and all that, and black people, they were all at the forefront trying to do all they can to make sure that their voices are heard and all that, trying to all of, okay, but then they started boycotting some companies that were sponsoring and supporting what is going on in Israel and all that, which really went a very long way, right? I appreciate black people for doing that. But one thing I'm going to ask is that the truth is that a lot of people are actually not going to do all this for black people because some of them really do not care. But black people are always at the forefront when it comes to other people and the rest of it. I know black people do not have allies and all that. And the truth is that even with everything going on, black people are still going to tell you that their support or anything is not transactional. Because they are supporting you does not mean that they want you to support them back when there is anything and all that. And then this video is in two segments. The other one is talking about change, Donald Trump and all that. What kind of cultural change are you even want? Do you really want from Donald Trump? Let's get into this video.
Let me ask you a question. Who boycotts for black lives? Because if you remember like I remember, Colin Kaepernick, in protesting police brutality, took a fucking knee in the NFL and he was benched and blackballed. Meanwhile, black people, dusty nignogs out here, was still watching the fucking NFL. We don't even boycott for ourselves. But all of this shit that's been happening in Palestine finally hits the full fucking screen. And we stop going all kinds of fucking places. And black people that refuse to buy McDonald's food will still run up into a goddamn Apple store and buy all the Apple products, knowing full well that Apple is directly responsible for the atrocities that are happening and to our people that look like us in Congo and Sudan. Who takes a stand for black lives in this country and globally? Who is it? And it doesn't matter what these agents of white supremacy out here tell you about voting for Donald Trump. I don't think that you should vote for Donald Trump at fucking all. But what I am not going to pretend is that voting for Donald Trump is any different than voting for Joe Biden, because all of these things that people tell you Donald Trump wants to do are the things that Joe Biden is doing. Joe Biden just signed a bill putting more Border Patrol and ICE agents in our community than any other fucking president ever has, including Donald Trump. He wants to boast about this fucking economy and how it's doing so much better. It's doing better for the rich that we should be eating. You can make $100,000 and live in California and still be houseless. You know why? Because we're still underpaid, we're still underemployed, and we're still underinsured. Cop City, that's Joe Biden. We are starving in this country not because we don't have the funds, but because this president, just like every other fucking president, is sending our hard-earned tax dollars to a foreign fucking entity so they can get the relief that we desperately need. And it doesn't matter that every other fucking president has done it. What matters is these motherfuckers want us to vote for this president, and he is doing it too. When do we get some relief for our black lives? When? And we can talk about children, our children being in the military, black people being in the military. Has it ever crossed your mind why black people sign up for the military? It's not because they fucking love this country. It is because our children are trying to find ways to navigate white supremacy. Our children are trying to find ways to go to school without being saddled in student loan debt. Trying to find a way to overcome redlining and how we've been shut out of buying homes. So they go for VA loans and shit like that. So our children are here trying to find ways to navigate around white supremacy only to be sent to another fucking country to fight to uphold white supremacy, that don't make no fucking sense. And whether Black lives signed up or not, they are still Black lives and they're still valuable, and we need to protect all of our Black lives. Who boycotts for us? We are being told that this Democratic Party is the party that we have to play in. Well, this Democratic Party is never going to do anything for us. Why would they buy the cow when they get the milk for free? So if we don't put our fucking feet down in this goddamn Democratic Party, we're going to keep getting a watered down version of their exploding white supremacy on the red fucking side. Fuck this folk blue no matter who. How many times do you think we're going to have to no vote the Democratic fucking presidential candidate for them to get the fucking message that they cannot keep using and mistreating Black voters? They need us. And we are out here dying with or without them. Vote down ballot. Pay attention to your local and your state elections. The closer these elections are to your home, the more likely you can get some protection for your Black life. Pay attention to your local elections. Pay attention to your state elections. Pay attention to who we are sending to Congress. Because those are the people that are writing these fucking bills. And it doesn't matter who the president is. If a dirty bill hits their desk, it hits their fucking desk. But if we can keep these dirty bills from hitting the desk, then there's no bad bills that fuck over our lives even more for them to sign. Give a fuck about you. Because these other motherfuckers in this Democratic Party do not. It is time for us to move for Black lives. And that means no voting their white supremacist fucking candidate for Black lives. Pay attention to your pro-Black candidates down ballot and vote for them. And no vote these goddamn white supremacists altogether. They've never, ever intended to do us any good. And it doesn't matter what color the agent of white supremacy is. The message is all the same. And it's all anti-Black.
Hey friends, assuming Kristen Nunu is remembered at all in history, he'll pretty much be remembered for this.
About that. I hate the election denialism of 2020. Nobody wants to be talking about that in 2024. I think all of that was absolutely terrible. But what people are going to be voting for, the reason I'm supporting not just the president, but a Republican administration. That's what this is. They want a culture change in Washington. All the rules and policies that pound down on the American people. All the wokeness, right? The fact that folks in Washington, liberal elites in Washington, want to stand on the shoulders of hardworking American families that built this country, defended this country, and tell them how to live their lives. They're angry. They're upset. That's the culture change that people want to see. People are upset by January 6th. They're upset by the election denial. They have every right to be. I am. But at the end of the day, they need a culture change to get America back on track.
So, but wait a second right there. Your words were very, very clear on January 11th, 2021. You said that President Trump's rhetoric and actions contributed to the insurrection. No other president in American history has contributed to an insurrection. So please explain, given the fact that you believe he contributed to an insurrection, how you can say we should have him back in the Oval Office.
It's not, because for me, it's not about him as much as it is having a Republican administration, Republican secretaries, Republican rules, a sense where states' rights comes first, individual rights comes first, parents' rights comes first. We're going to have a pro-business economy. We're not going to have a cancel culture that has really infiltrated all across America. It's not about Trump with me. It's about bringing those more
but he will be the president.
Right? I'm the governor of the live free or die state, bringing that mentality back.
That doesn't make any sense to me, Governor. I'm sorry. You're saying it's not about Trump. You're saying he would be the president. And you've said he's someone who's contributed to an insurrection.
I understand it doesn't make sense to you, George, but look at the polls. What you're telling me is you don't understand why 51% of this country is supporting Donald Trump. They're not crazy. They're not MAGA conservatives. They're not extremists. They want culture change. So,
Governor, I'm not talking.
The bigger issue is...
I'm not talking about polls. I'm asking you a very simple question. You believe Donald Trump contributed to an insurrection. That's correct, right?
I stand by the statement.
You stand by the statement that he contributed to an insurrection. And you believe that someone, you believe that a president who contributed to an insurrection should be president again?
As does 51% of America, George. I mean, really, I understand you're part of the media. I understand you're in this New York City bubble or whatever it is. But you got to look around what's happening across this country. That's how badly America wants a culture change.
So just to sum up, you would support him for president even if he's convicted in classified documents. You support him for president even though you believe he contributed to an insurrection. You support him for president even though you believe he's lying about the last election. You support him for president even if he's convicted in the Manhattan case. I just want to say the answer to that is yes, correct?
Yeah, me and 51% of America.
Governor, thanks for your time this morning. Up next, Arizona puts the abortion debate back in the...
I don't think I can say it any better than my friend Sonny Hostin from The View. So, Sonny, your witness.
Maybe that's who they always were. Maybe that's who they always were. And I think we give certain politicians too much credit. I think people gave Sununu too much credit. If you remember when he came on this show, I said to him, I asked him, you voted for Trump in 2016 and you even voted for him in 2020. Someone as principled as you are, why would you vote for the antithesis, the very antithesis of what you believe in? And you know what he said? Well, he's not going to be the nominee. So I'm not surprised that he did this. He is every bit of a politician, and he should be ashamed. Our system is set up like this, though. That is the...
New Hampshire. This is your governor, Chris Sununu. He's not running for re-election, apparently, in 2024. I guess he's hoping that if Trump wins, he'll get some sort of a cabinet position. There's obviously something that he wants from Donald Trump, and he's willing to sell his soul for it. This is the Republican Party. Well done. Well done, voters. Do better.
Really, people can actually do better. You know, it is the season of vote blame no matter who. And I think people really need to wake up because a lot of things are going on. And it's the fact that people are going to support somebody blindly. I don't know how people do that. You know, when you see someone that you know truly very well that this person is not good enough for you or for your community, or I don't know, but how do people blindly do things like that? Because I really don't get it. I feel like some people, it's all about a stomach infrastructure. When people are so much interested on what they are going to get from a particular politician and all that, or probably looking for a position to occupy, and then you see them like, you know, support whoever, like they really don't care what is going to happen out of it. Like the first sister said, I mean, who has really ever like defended or boycott? Like, has anybody ever boycott for Black people and all that? And that is just something that a lot of people are probably sometimes overlooking. We probably know people are not doing all this for us, but we still, like, you know, because I see a lot of Black people saying that our support is not transactional or something. You know, Black people, I see them all those who are like being at the forefront of what is going on in Palestine. I think Black people actually, do not get me wrong, they fought so hard for Palestine that they even, like, you know, everybody actually came all out to talk about what is going on in Palestine, also trying to boycott and the rest of it. And then why doing all this? We kind of, not like we forgot, but like, you know, I think the awareness was so much on Palestine that, like, you know, people that were going through it all in Congo, in Sudan, Haiti, Yemen, and some other places, like we kind of, like, you know, put them by the side. Why? Because we, like, you know, we really wanted something, we really needed change and all that, you know. So all these, like, you know, were also boycott, Starbucks, McDonald's, KFC, Pe0ple, iPhone, like a lot that people were able to like boycott. I think for that period that was going on, you know, sometimes boycott, like, you know, it's just for that period. A lot of people will still go back to what they do and the rest of it. But now I am saying that who boycotts for Black lives? Nobody actually. So it's more like it's Black people for, like, you know, like we all always know that Black people do not have allies and the rest of it. We are always, like, you know, we are Black people are always there to fight for every other person. I mean, always seeking for justice for people. But people really do not do all that for us. So, but then when something is striking black people, it is still black people that come out to still fight for themselves and all that, but irrespective. Now, people are looking for change. And I am going to ask you, what kind of culture change are you looking for? Because you cannot say you're looking for change and you are not specific. I know how this change of a thing, how it happens and how it comes and all that. We want change, we want change. What exactly are you looking for? What do you want to change? What change are you working towards, or what change do you want them to bring? Because change could be anything. It could be coming and being a tyrant, not being all those things and all of that. So let's be specific when we say what cultural change, and saying that 51% of Americans support whoever they are supporting and all of that. Does that make that person a great person or a great leader? Someone that has already made it known to you that if I get back into this city, tyrant, he made it clear. He wasn't like mincing words. All right, so a lot of people want, trust me, Joe Biden and all, but the truth is that I do not think that any of they are just birds of same feather that flock together. Just that Democrats and Republican the same. Just that some people are thinking that one person is of a but are just the same thing. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.